called? What is it called? Melted. Hello and welcome back to my next episode of Chit Chats with Miss. Thank you so much for being here. For those of you who are new, my name is Melissa and this is my channel and this is my series called Chit Chats with Miss. I release a new Chit Chats with Miss every Monday, generally every Monday. Last week I missed a Monday, but I will explain why. And this series is where I come and update you on my week. I give updates for my week, but I also talk about things that I'm loving each week. So also things that I'm watching, things that I'm listening to, or what I'm reading, just updates for my week, what I'm up to, what I'm trying. And yeah, I always end each episode of Chit Chats with Miss with a positive affirmation to help you set the intentions for your week and get you started and give you a little more positive vibes for your week. So look out for that. That's part of my favorite thing at Chit Chats with Miss is doing a positive affirmation at the end. So it's awesome. So let's begin today's episode. So this week's episode is going to be a little bit different only because I'm going to just see how it goes. So I've been giving updates on my grandma throughout some of the episodes of Chit Chats with Miss because I'm currently in Dubai, and just before I came here, which was on Canadian Thanksgiving in October, we had to call 911 for my grandma because we thought she was having a stroke or something was seriously wrong. There was just definitely, you could tell something was wrong. So I've sort of been giving updates because I'm here in Dubai and they're back home in Canada. So my mom has been keeping me updated on what's happening. But unfortunately, last week she passed away and I'm having a very hard time with it because it's just very sad. So I'm very sad. She did have a stroke, but she ended up in her final days catching COVID, which is so sad. And that's ultimately what she just wasn't strong enough to fight COVID off. So COVID sucks. So that's why last week I did not post a Chit Chats with Miss episode, but now we are back. So today's episode, we're just gonna see how it goes. And also in today's episode, I do want to cook cookies. So I have the Betty Crocker cookies here because every time you would go to my grandma's house, she was either baking or cooking and she always had cookies. So today we're gonna be making Betty Crocker cookies and in memory of my grandma. So to be honest, when I am in a sad or having a really hard time with mental health or in a sad, I don't want to call it mindset, but like I'm having a difficult time with just life. I don't like to listen to a lot of music because it triggers a lot of emotions for me, but this week I have actually listened to a little bit of music and I've been listening to Kelsea Ballerini's new album called Subject to Change. So the reason I decided to try Kelsea Ballerini's album is because I heard her on a podcast she was quickly being interviewed by Morgan from the Bobby Bones Show, and they were talking about how the album sounds a lot like Shania Twain's from the 90s. And I was like, okay, like I love Shania Twain and I love her music from the 90s. So good. I'm definitely a country fan. So I decided to give Kelsea Ballerini a chance and listen to her album Subject to Change. And it was actually really good. It does actually have a lot of like 90s vibes, Shania Twain vibes in it. So if you like Shania Twain or like country music, you should give Kelsea Ballerini's album a try. This week I went on Friday to the Dubai Mall. I have a video coming out on Thursday, so stay tuned for Thursday. I have a video coming out on my Friday cleaning routine, what I did, and also that I went to the mall, to the Dubai Mall on Friday. It was incredible. The weather is starting to get a lot nicer and there's a big massive park outside because they have a fountain, and the Burj Khalifa, which is the tallest building in the world, is right beside and connected to the Dubai Mall. And then they have this park across the other side of the fountain, which is incredible. And I spent 2 hours just wandering around the park. It is so beautiful. So stay tuned for that. I also just because I'm obsessed with my current lipstick. I went to a store in the Dubai Mall called Kiko Milano. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but that's what it is. It's like this lipstick, but it turns like, so it doesn't like transfer, like it just kind of like stains or like stays on your lips, but like matte. And I love it. I love the color. I love everything about it. So I honestly have no idea if they sell this brand at home, but I'm definitely gonna be looking. And if they don't, I'm gonna get a few more colors because I seriously like it. I like the way it feels on my lips. I like the way it looks. And I just seriously really like it. So I'm gonna look into that. But yeah, I thought I would just give you a little sneak peek of what's coming on Thursday. For today's positive affirmation, it's going to be, I focus on the good things in my life and give no attention to fear, insecurity, or doubt. I am thankful that my focus will produce an abundance of goodness in my life. Say the positive affirmation as many times as you want. I like to say positive affirmations every morning, and each week I come up with a new positive affirmation or find a new positive affirmation that I want to say, and that is the positive affirmation that I provide in my video each week. So I hope you like this week's affirmation, and I hope it's helpful. And yeah, so let's go make our cookies. Okay, so we are going to be making cookies and brownies. I decided to put on a black t-shirt because I don't want to get anything on my shirt that I'm wearing, because the other day I made salmon. If you haven't seen my salmon video, go back to my latest YouTube video to watch it. I make a salmon and a roasted vegetables in the oven, but I got oil on my shirt, which is so sad. So I decided to put a different shirt on. That doesn't matter if I get it ruined. So here we go. So I have our mixes. We're gonna start with our cookies first. Here we go. Let's start. So we're gonna be doing the Betty Crocker cookie chocolate chip mix. So it says 3 simple steps. Preheat the oven, which I have. So it says stir butter and egg in medium bowl, okay? Add cookie mix and stir until moisten. Okay, so mix another 20 strokes. If dough is stiff, stir additional 2 teaspoons of water. You need 1 egg, and we need half a cup of butter or 110 grams, which is this exactly. So 1 egg and the butter. Here we go. Now I'm gonna add the cookie mix, and we just stir. Okay, so our cookie mix is looking great. If you can see here, it's so fluffy and it looks awesome. I ended up using a fork so that I could cut the butter in, which made it so much easier to mix. So I would recommend using a fork to cut the butter in. We are going to use some spoons and put some cookies on our pan. Okay. So, but yeah, my grandma always had cookies. She likes to make chocolate chip cookies, or she would make these ones at Christmas are called Belgian cookies. They are her most famous cookie, and they're so good. So we now have 6 cookies on our tray. I'm gonna throw them in the oven. Whoops. And I'll be right back. When you make cookies, do you ever lick the spoons or the bowl? When I was younger, my mom and I and my brother used to make cookies, and we would be watching cartoons on Saturday morning, and we would be stirring the muffins or the cookies in the living room, watching the TV, and like slowly like licking the spoons. It was so good. So now I'm gonna wash my bowl and get it ready for my brownies. Okay, next up is our fudge brownie mix with chocolate chunks. So it says preheat the oven, which is already done. Stir, mix water, oil, and 2 eggs into a bowl until blended well. Then put it into a pan. So, okay, cool. As you can see here, I'm a little bit messy, which is why I'm thankful I wore a shirt. Okay, so we're gonna add our brownie mix. So now we need 2 eggs. Here we go. Now for the oil. So we need And it said a bit, just a tad more. And then a little bit of water. I'm not gonna measure. I know with baking you're supposed to measure, but you know what, it's okay. Great. And here we go. We're gonna start mixing. It's coming along great. I'm greasing the pan with butter. I like to wing it and hope for the best. So this is probably a very weird way to grease butter and definitely not how I was taught, but it's how I'm doing it today. But our brownie mix is awesome. It's done. So it looks good. And here we go. So let's transfer it over. I'm gonna grab a spatula. We used to bake all the time with my grandma, or I would come home from school and my mom would say, go downstairs and see grandma, because she would have had made cookies and she would have them ready for me when I came home from school. So that's definitely a core memory for me, is she always had cookies. And she had this one specific container. It was like this Tupperware container. It was like a white Tupperware with a green lid, and it always had cookies in it, which was awesome. Okay, so our brownies look awesome. They're ready to bake, but let's check on our cookies. Oh my, they're way too big, but that's okay. We will fix them after. Which probably means I should make these ones smaller. Okay, so here we go. So I cut these ones down and we got 8 more cookies. Okay, so we have our cookies and our brownies. So I'm so happy that I made cookies today, and it makes me feel like I'm closer to my grandma and I'm definitely remembering her. So if you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. I'm on a challenge to get 1,000 subscribers, and I can't wait to see you next week on Chit Chats with Miss. Don't forget to check out the video this Thursday of my time at Dubai Mall, and also cleaning the house a bit before I go. So yeah, have a good day and have a great week. Let's try a cookie.